Please welcome your host from NASCAR.com, Kim Coon.
Hello. Thank you, guys. I'm so excited to be a part of this special evening with Hendrick Motorsports. But first, I want to welcome the fans watching live on NASCAR.com and Facebook Live. You guys have a front row seat for what is going to be a very exciting night. And then look at this unbelievable crowd in Charlotte. How are you guys doing tonight? Good? How about the fans from the NASCAR Hall of Fame? How are y'all? You guys are awesome. So tonight, you guys are going to get a first look at the 2018 Hendrick Motorsports lineup. And of course, as you can see, awaiting the Chevrolet Camaro paint schemes, you're going to see racing in the 2018 Daytona 500. Pretty cool, right? This is the first time Hendrick has ever unveiled all four cars at the same time. So again, a very special night, a very unique night. And with that, I think I need to welcome some special guests here. Next up, the driver of the number 24 Exalta Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 in 2018, William Byron, joined by four-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, the legend, Jeff Gordon. They call him seven-time, the driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 in 20.
Well, this is the first time that we've ever done this, to unveil next year's cars this early, and to have our sponsors, the fans, everyone here tonight is so special, and we're really excited. I'm excited about this new Camaro, and we have the street cars over here, the 1LE in the corner, so I can't wait to get these cars on the track.
I can't either. I know you guys can't wait. Are you guys ready to unveil the cars? You think so? I know they gave you some glow sticks, so I'm going to have you guys use those glow sticks and help me count down. Do you think you can do that? If I give you a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What a victory for the 2014. 19-year-old open-wheel sensation Jeff Gordon from Pittsburgh, Indiana.
Jeff Gordon, winner of the inaugural Brickyard 400.
William Byron wins at Indy. 19 years old, he is the youngest to win a NASCAR race at Indianapolis.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, your 2018 Hendrick Motorsports lineup. Give it up for them. All right, we've introduced them. We've made them stand here. Now it's time to talk to them. So I'm going to ask that Alex come join me over here. Jimmy, William, Chase, come on over. Put you guys in the hot seat. William, Exalta brought the flames back. You heard the audience reaction. How cool is this opportunity for you to be with the number 24 team?
Yeah, it's really special. Jeff Gordon started out with Exalta, and Mr. H took a chance on him, and that's what we were talking about is we kind of had similar ages, similar career paths, and it's really neat to carry their colors to Daytona next year, and just super excited about that. So thankful for this opportunity for Mr. H and everyone at Hendrick, and the car looks great.
Now, Jeff, you're going to be in the broadcast booth for Williams' first race in the number 24. What are your expectations in his rookie season?
Well, I'm extremely excited about this youth movement that's happening within the whole sport, but especially here at Hendrick Motorsports, to be able to blend a 7-time champion, his experience with Jimmy Johnson, with this young, talented group of drivers. I think it's very exciting for Hendrick as well as for the sport in general. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the flames on this race car, on this 24 car, and I just think William is his rise to this level. I've never seen anything like it. Anybody get there faster than he has, and it's because he's earned it. He has incredible talent. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Maybe a little jealous that you're not driving this Chevy Camaro?
I'm jealous of this whole event because of all the years that I drove a car for Hendrick, we never unveiled like this. This is amazing, and I think it shows the commitment that Hendrick and Chevy and Camaro and all of our sponsors and drivers have to next year.
And I was thinking about Jeff. I could see Jeff's eyes watering because I think he wanted to get in and drive it, but to see
standing awfully close.
Oh yeah, he's real close. But just to see William what he's been able to do. To me, to have these guys and to have Dale supporting Alex and Jeff supporting William. I watched Jeff Gordon come in and blossom to be the champion he is. Also Jimmy, Jimmy came in, did the same thing. It was an honor to have Dale Earnhardt drive a car. My son said it was going to happen. I thought it never would, and hate to see him retire. William, of course, he was trick-or-treating at my daughter's house not that long ago. So, and he told me when he was 14 years old he was going to end up doing this, and it was just. So I'm just really, really excited. So it's going to be a lot of fun next year.
And then the 24 returns as well, but we have a passing of the torch, so to speak, with the flames back on the Exalta car. Jeff Gordon certainly made those famous when he was in that car. William Byron, he will be the pilot of the number 24 next year.
And then Gordon didn't seem to want to move away from the 24.
Well, Gordon might have been a little bit confused because that looks exactly like the car that he ran for so many years. You see those guys are up there taking pictures around those cars now.
And I think it's so cool to see a kid and how this impacts him and what his life's going to be like from this point forward. Reminds me a lot about when this guy took a chance on me. And Exalta took a chance on me, and I think a lot of the same things are happening to William, and it's really cool to see it from this side and watch, and I think a lot of great things are still ahead.
Obviously, Williams got some big shoes to fill. You paved the way in the number 24. Chase has done a great job with it. He's now moving over to the 9. Have you offered William any words of advice how to make that car his own?
I'm not really too concerned with that because I think what he does on the track speaks for itself. I mean, one of the things I'm so impressed with this year watching him in the Xfinity Series, and yeah, I was impressed in the Truck Series, but I thought, well, his trucks are the best trucks out there. Let's see what he does when he goes into a more competitive series like the Xfinity Series, and he's impressed me of how he drives like a veteran, but yet he's got that youthfulness and that desire to just push the limits of the car. He's going to bring that to the Cup Series. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's exciting. I think that's exciting for 24 fans out there. Yeah, he's young, but everything he's gotten behind the wheel of, he's excelled. He's succeeded, and I anticipate him doing the same thing. When you're young, you're a sponge. You're a quick learner, and whether it be a simulator or behind the wheel of an actual race car, the kid just picks things up so fast.
Now, William, your jaw hit the floor when you saw those flames on the side of that car.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure Daytona 500 next year.
Yeah.
There's one guy who's ever won in the 24 in the Cup Series, and that is Jeff Gordon. You're taking over his number, a very, very famous paint scheme. So I mean, nerves going into Daytona, or is it just another day in the life of Slick Willie B?
It's definitely nerve-wracking. I think, when I saw that paint scheme, that's the first time I've really seen it. I've seen some rough drafts and stuff, but, my eyes lit up. It's just so cool to see it on a race car and really see all 4 of our cars on there. So, super excited about Daytona, and it's going to be a lot of pressure, but looking forward to it.
Awesome, Bill from Dawsonville.
See you guys.
Chase Elliott's pop's coming up. Bill Elliott's on deck.
Chase Elliott's dad. No big deal.
How are you?
Hall of Famer. Welcome.
It's not every day we're joined by, Hall of Famers. Rick Hendrick's obviously a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon's a future Hall of Famer. But what's it like?
He's definitely a Wall of Shamer.
There you go.
Best of luck to William here for next year, and big step. A lot of things going on, and great opportunity here in Hendricks Motorsports and what they've done in the new Camaro. So we'll see.
So everyone always asks, what advice do you give Chase since he's a young guy? What advice would you give a rookie going into the Daytona 500 in one of the most famous numbers in the sport?
Hang on. I mean, it's just one of those races that Daytona is more about survival than anything. I mean, it's just one of those races that anything can happen, and usually does. And that's the hardest part about you can't school anybody about it. It's just something that it unfolds, and you could win a race, or you could end up in the garage. That's just kind of the way the race goes.
Are you ready to hold on, William?
Yeah, I'm ready to hold on. It's definitely, Daytona's a interesting one. It's kind of a fun one to start out on, I guess. It's going to be a lot of unknowns, but, definitely excited about it and ready to race with Chase and have all these guys as teammates. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You're sitting next to a Hall of Famer, and you're going to be in what essentially is a Hall of Fame car. What does this mean to you, just this moment?
That means a lot. I mean, Bill and I got to talk a couple weeks ago and got some great advice from him. So just trying to learn from him and all the resources we have at HMS. It's there's Hall of Famers everywhere you look, pretty much. So that's pretty special. It's not like any other race team to have that. So it's pretty cool.
You make it look easier maybe than anybody has in the past. Coming in the Truck Series, knocking out a record number of wins for a rookie in that series. You come into the Xfinity Series, you're the youngest guy to win a NASCAR race at Indy. So what's the secret, or is there a secret? Or you just, how do you come in first year to these series and just start knocking things down?
I don't know. I think it's kind of a testament to the hard work going on behind the scenes. Obviously there's a lot that goes on the weekend, and trying to get that communication right between you and your crew chief and the whole team there. So I feel like, when I was growing up, I was racing late models, and I was watching Chase and watching other guys run at JRM and have success. So I've just tried to kind of emulate that and keep progressing, and it's worked out so far. And I never would have imagined it's worked out to this level, but it's definitely special, and very thankful for Mr. Hendrick and everyone. So I would say the biggest thing is just trying to capitalize on the opportunity.
The engines have fired at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We've talked about the drivers that are fighting just to stay in the playoffs. How about the guys that are the favorites for the championship? Guys like Justin Allgaier and William Byron. Junior Motorsports well represented. Elliott Sadler in that mix too.
That are battling for this championship, they're at the top of the list right there. Justin Allgaier and William Byron, teammates at Junior Motorsports, because some of the favorites to make it to Homestead and battle for a championship along with.
I'm sure Dale Jr. is watching this race, and I'm sure he's cringing right now because Justin Allgaier and William Byron are racing door to door. Both drivers for Junior Motorsports, and they're fighting for position.
Yeah, you got all 3 of them right there. Elliott Sadler right behind them. It would do them well just to say, okay, I'm going to sort this out right now. We've got a lot of racing to do, and this is doing none of us any good.
So right there, Justin Allgaier is able to jump up in front of William Byron. Parker.
Guys, as we watch those 3 Junior Motorsports cars race each other really hard right here, remember, these 3 feel like they're going to be racing each other for the championship Miami. They're some of the favorites, and they've said that as they go through these races right now, it's about working together, improving the team, making sure they all get to Miami. And then the gloves are off. But right there, you saw some intense racing against those teammates, Marty.
Parker, it's funny, before the race, William Byron asked his spotter, Earl Barber, and he said, hey, is the racetrack ready? Earl said, yeah, it's been ready for a little bit. He said, how about that top groove? Does it look ready? He said, if you want to go for it, go for it. So he did those first few early laps. And I would say, Jeff, pretty brave on the young man's part, because everybody was saying you don't want to be in that outside groove. He's moved down now, but he was willing to run that outside groove very early.
Because you have Brendan Gaughan not running well at all. Do you just try to beat him and hope you have Ryan Reed?
Pit road is open, and here they come, Parker.
Guys, Brendan Gaughan fighting to...
As we look at the top 10 finishers in stage 1, only the drivers that are full-time Xfinity Series drivers can receive points. That's why Jones, Suarez, and Blaney don't have any points. Either does Bowman or Dillon. But with Justin Allgaier and William Byron both earning the points that they did in the first stage, they now have clinched a spot in the round of 8. So that's good news. Sunday night is football night. Travis Kelce and the undefeated Chiefs will be in Houston to face J.J. Watt. Now, Mike Tirico and Dan Patrick, they host Football Night in America tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on NBC. And the crew, last time on pit road, Eric Jones lost 4 spots while he was on pit road, and he was able to battle back and get up into the top 2, but it was swore. And some people go a little bit faster than pit road speed, and that would be the 9 of William Byron. That's actually the first speeding penalty for William Byron of 2017. So a mistake, but it's not going to hurt him. William Byron is going to advance into the round of 8 because of the points that he has already earned. When everybody knows they still have to come to pit road.
So, Rick, I think this is a major decision point.
If we go way back in the field, Rick, you'll see William Byron in that 9 car. He came to pit road. They are locked into the next round. So Dave Ellen said, why not? They, Steve, did take their tires this time and fuel to make it to the end. So they got the Sunoco fuel part set. They have the Goodyear tires on. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of ground the 9 car can make up and what tires will mean. We're going to find out pretty quick.
Well, I can tell you to keep an eye out for the white and blue number 9, because tires are going to mean a lot. I would expect to see him 3 wide up top, trying to get by the cars in front of him.
Hey, Rick, Steve called it. It's been so much fun to watch William Byron restarted 19th. He's up to the 9th position. He's cut the field in half, and he has been dicing high, dicing low. Now he's about to move up to 8th to go around Daniel Hemrick.
As this race continues on with under 37 laps to go, William Byron may have just fallen into an impressive situation.
Well, he's going to be the leader, and he was fast on those tires, and he's got quite a few cars in between him and Ryan Blaney, who's quick. So we'll see how that works out.
William Byron, Elliott Sadler making up row 1. 34 laps to go.
Well, great job by Elliott Sadler there, anticipating that, doing a good job. Byron's still going to go by on the outside, though.
Elliott Sadler not able to stay at the bottom of the racetrack. He slides all the way up and back to 3rd as William Byron has the lead, and right behind him it's Ty Dillon now in 2nd.
So we were just talking about that 5 car, Rick. So basically what he's done, I want to clear that up. He has an extra set of tires.
Oh, around goes the 5. Michael Annette sliding sideways.
Byron, though, back in 14th. We talked about his run through the field. Has now said twice on the radio he thinks he has a right rear going down or a right rear tire rub. We're going to keep an eye on that 9.
As we look at the round of 8 now, the drivers, once the points are reset at 3,000 and the playoff points added, they will have a week to think about it because they're not racing at Talladega next week. Their next race will be at Kansas in 2 weeks.
It's going to be stressful. It's going to be demanding. There's no holding back.
This time of the year, you can't afford to have mistakes. Your whole season is on the line.
Definitely a lot of mental emotions going on. You're going to have to raise your game.
But know what the butterflies are going to feel like and the sleepless nights are going to feel like.
Everybody that you look at, you say, man, they're all dangerous.
You don't play it safe. You only have one goal, and you'll do whatever it takes.
You want to be able to be in that spot to have a shot at winning a championship for sure. You're just trying to fight for that ultimate dream to be the champion.
One of the big breaking stories right off the bat has to be the 9 and the 19. William Byron in the number 9 and Matt Tifft in the 19. They will have to go to the back of the starting grid for violations during qualifying. So they're headed to the back after penalties, and that's going to make it an uphill battle for those two.
And Steve, it helps if you have a veteran spotter for William Byron. That is Earl Barber, who's also the spotter for 7-time champ Jimmy Johnson. Byron up to 22nd, and that's exactly what he preached before the race. Listen, I know you got a fast car. I know you want to move to the front, but you got to think patience. We don't necessarily have to have those stage points here in stage 1, but you got to be patient here early in the race. So far, so good for that 9 car, up to 21st now.
And he keeps clicking off positions almost every lap, as now he looks to dig by the 24 of Dylan Lupton. Dave.
And you can't underestimate what happens post-qualifying inspection. The 19 of Matt Tifft was actually found to have a loose bolt in a crush panel. Wow, that was close for the 9 of Byron. But the 19 of Tifft had a loose bolt in the crush panel, and NASCAR made them tighten it. Well, once they tightened it, that was an unapproved adjustment. Rick?
Yeah, looked like the 9 may have made a little contact with the wall. He slid up the racetrack. Yeah, certainly flat-sided the right side of that car.
Touched the right rear quarter panel, looked like to me, and you can see right here how loose he is once he moved up the racetrack, and now he's kind of along for the ride and just ran out of racetrack. And I don't think substantial damage. I don't see any tire rub. I think he's okay.
That will play into the way these cars handle throughout this first stage, and that's what everyone's focused on right now, trying to gain as many points as they can early on in this, the first race of the round of 8. Could the young William Byron be pushing it a little bit too hard? We've already seen him get into the wall once. Well, he has replayed that. Again, the 9 of William Byron aggressively getting through the turn and just kissing the wall that time out of turn 4.
You heard him say he's loose, and you could see right there the back of the car was coming around on it. Just does not have the rear grip that he needs, but he can't just ride around. He's got to push. He's got to move forward. He's worked himself up to 15th, but there's a fine line between trying too hard and not trying hard enough.
Dave, it's fun to watch these young drivers out on the track. William Byron moved up in the top 10, as Rick mentioned a moment ago. On that last pit stop, they went down 3 rounds on the track bar. That means his car was extremely loose on that first run. Dave Ellens, his crew chief, said, hey, I went pretty far on that adjustment. If I went too far, just run the high side. He said, nope, I'll love it if it's a little bit tighter, Parker.
13 to go. It'll be 12 to go when they come back to the finish line. Looks as though the 2 is going to... William Byron, again, we documented unapproved adjustments after qualifying, put him all the way to the back at the start of the race, but now he's fought back. He's up into the 7th spot as he chases after the 3 of Ty Dillon.
Yeah, and it wasn't easy getting there. We saw him sideways. We saw him getting into the wall a couple times. He said one time he got 3 wide. Someone may have made contact on the right rear quarter panel as well. So it's not like it's been an easy drive up there. He's had to get as much out of the car as he possibly can to get himself back toward the front. And that's a difficult decision. When you're in a championship battle and one race can take you out of that championship hunt. And remember, last year in the Truck Series, he was the favorite. Everybody thought he was going to win the championship. He didn't even advance into Miami Homestead with a chance to win the championship because of mechanical issues. So for a guy like him that had that experience, it's even that much harder to push hard and maybe put yourself in position to make a mistake.
And Rick, William Byron and his team have 2 sets of tires left. Remember that pit stop a moment ago? They restarted 9th. They made up a couple of spots, and now there's just one playoff driver in front of him. An impressive day for this young man. And Jeff, the one thing that just keeps coming back to me is when I hear William Byron on the radio, he's so calm. He never was panicked when he hit the wall twice earlier today. Wasn't panicked when he was in the back of the field. For a 19-year-old, the composure this young man has is just amazing.
Marty, I am just continually impressed with William Byron and his maturity at 19 years old. And we're seeing that as a trend in NASCAR racing, where younger drivers are coming in more prepared, not just physically but mentally. They're ready to deal with this, and whether that's because of the availability to simulation, drivers are starting at younger ages now, whatever it is, we're seeing them more ready when they show up. William Byron, to me, you know, he really doesn't have that much racing experience. He didn't start racing when he was 4 years old, 5 years old. but when he got here, he was ready. He's prepared himself. He is a professional athlete, and he conducts himself like that all day long, 24/7. He's prepared, he's ready to come, and he's ready to race when he shows up. Yeah, listen, I think the 7 car, he has proven that he is a real championship contender. This is a career year for him, but they have not let up. They've been good within the playoffs, and you have to look at, I think everybody looks at William Byron and thinks he's the guy that has the best shot, but this 7 and Justin Allgaier, they're going to be hard to beat.
There you have it, Justin Allgaier again running in the top 5, currently 4th, and I would say one of the lead championship contenders. William Byron is up there, Elliott Sadler, Justin Allgaier, definitely one of the title contenders for 2017, Dave.
Chat and email and all the different ways communications comes from every.
Parker, all year long it's been so much fun to watch 19-year-old William Byron. Well, today he's put on a show once again. Started 36 this afternoon. He's up in the 6th position, and maybe his biggest win of the year, Rick, was at Indianapolis. Today he's driving the same car that he won with at Indianapolis. Going to see if he can pull it off one more time and get back to victory lane after he started the back of the field to start the race. Dave, remember earlier we were debating about how much teammates are sharing information. Well, for William Byron and his team, they tested at Charlotte back in August. They felt like they found some things. They took that setup to Charlotte and Kentucky and finished 18th and 16th. It just wasn't working. They showed up here with that setup, and it wasn't working again. So whose setup did they borrow? Justin Allgaier. It's the guy right in front of him, his teammate. It's worked. Byron now has driven from 36 to 6, Parker. Hey, Rick, last week was the first off week for the Xfinity Series in 20 weekends. So I asked William Byron, what'd you do with your off week? He said, I was busy. I was in the simulator with Jimmy Johnson for part of the week. And then Jimmy decided he was going to take William Byron and Alex Bowman to lunch. And if you look, they're sitting in the car seats in the back of Jimmy's car. And Jimmy, being the veteran that he is, I'm taking the kids to lunch. But he said that experience has been invaluable. Jimmy has become such a mentor to him just on how to approach these playoffs. And who else did he spend time with? Jeff Gordon, who's preparing him to be in the 24 car next year. Jeff, it's amazing what Hendrick Motorsports has in terms of depth, but William Byron couldn't think of 2 better guys to spend time with in an off week than Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, right?
Well, I think for William Byron, too, William's just a sponge. He soaks up all the information. He loves to learn. And having a chance to spend time in a simulator with Jimmy Johnson, to have conversation with Jeff Gordon, what an advantage if you're willing to take advantage of it. If you're willing to put your ego aside and say, hey, look, these guys can help me, and take that opportunity. And William Byron's that kind of person that would be willing to do it.
Finishes 4th, and it was not an easy day. You started from the back, made good headway at the beginning, and then started running some tougher cars at a pass, and actually got in the wall twice. Just describe it for me.
Yeah, it was just it was pretty crazy running the wall and kind of coming from the back. The air's just bad back there, and trying to pass a lot of cars at once. Just got in a couple of tight squeezes, and after that we rebounded for the second stage, and then just had a couple good runs there. Just couldn't quite get it to fire off. First couple laps, it kind of would go backwards, and then we'd be really fast after that. So good job to our guys to execute and get ourselves up there, and that's what we need for the next couple races. So learned a little bit, I think, for Homestead, running against the wall, and we'll just see what we got there.
You mentioned learning and actually running against the wall. It was said that at Chicago, when you guys had the issue, running up next to the wall helped you learn how to do that. Did you learn more here, and what was it you're learning about running up next to the wall?
I think I learned more definitely at Chicago, because here the pace is so fast. You are using the wall, but it's not the same. There's grip up there. At other racetracks like Homestead, there's no grip, and you're using the wall to help you turn. So I think it was different here, but it worked for us, and tried to stay off it and get our Cessna Chevy up there, and good to finish 4th.
And just handicap the next couple tracks for me as we go ahead here, as we go and try to get to Miami. Do you feel good about them? Do you feel like you're going to bring the same level of pace that you have throughout this season, next couple tracks?
I think so. I think those top 3 cars are super fast right now, but we're not racing them. We're racing our teammates and racing a couple other guys. So I think we're right there, and Phoenix has been a really good track for us. Hopefully we can just continue to not make mistakes and put ourselves in position. Texas is going to be fast. It's going to be a repave, but I think that Phoenix will be able to run really well.
That's it. William Byron with a top 5 run here at Kansas.